Hi, I'm Robin White from FantasyWire, and I'm the guy that makes the wire fairies. The reason I've chosen Trillian is that she's relatively simple to make, and what I mean by that is she's not in a complicated pose. Her arms and her legs are in an orientation that you can get all of the way round. There's nothing complicated about that sort of pose to make, but probably more crucially, she's stood on one leg. Very often when you get a DIY kit, you're sort of expected to just make a fairy that can either sit on the table or lie down or something like that. But you can't make one that's standing up. Now, clearly, there is a structure inside the skeleton of this figure that helps me to do that. And I wanted to go through how that's achieved as well. She's also got very dramatic hair, and I thought it's a good example to show you how to make the hair. So this is Trillian, and I'm going to walk you through each of the different stages of how I thought about the design and how we execute each part of it.
Before we actually make the skeleton, I'm going to work out the sizes, but I thought I'd take the opportunity to just run through some of those design features that I was talking about and show you a little video, dramatically speeded up, of how I actually design the fairies. So normally I'll start in Procreate, which is a drawing package that I use, and I'll make a sketch of the idea that's in my head. And in a way, I'm trying to sort of imagine the photograph that I'm going to take, and I'm trying to just get that sort of image out of my head. So I'll do a bit of a sort of thumbnail sketch, nothing detailed, but now I need to test whether or not that's going to work in 3D. So I'm jumping into Art Pose Female Edition, which gives you sort of generic models that you can manipulate all of the limbs. You can change every sort of angle. I'm going to jump into one that I've preset as Trillian because I've played with it earlier rather than watching it all mess about. You can spin it in midair. You can see that the design works. You can change the lighting. You can render her with skin. And you can take a screenshot of that, and then I can go back into Procreate, and I can actually bring up side by side that screenshot of the image that I've just taken. And this gives me the ability to, almost as if I was in a studio with a model. So I've got a reference, so I can now do the drawing knowing that that idea works in 3D. I can continue to work on this, and I can add all of the details like the wings and the hair, and I can sort of see if it works. And you've seen some of the drawings that I do on Facebook. This is only a bit of a sketch, but you can add all the details and features that you want and sort of see if it works, because we haven't got the ability to do that in 3D. So once I've done my sketch, I then bring up the reference of all of the sizes that I want. And basically, before I go down to the workshop, I need to get all of the skeleton dimensions. So I'll just do a little bit of a thumbnail of where all the bones go in the skeleton. So this is the skeleton that I'm going to make. And then I'll bring up the reference that's in the guidebook. And I've got it on screen as well, the sizes that I want to make. And I'll just add in those dimensions, and I'll print this out, and then that's a sort of piece of paper that I would take down to the workshop with me, that I've got with me to just make the skeleton up. And there we go. So I'll print that out, go down to the workshop, and we'll start making the fairy.